Hey everyone, it's the Burble. We're not starting with the normal intro, so to speak, because Az and I, we're in shock.
We're aghast.
There is something that we mentioned on last week's podcast, which, well, we didn't actually predict what was going to happen, so to speak, but it was more along the lines of this. Here's the audio. Also, as well, I heard just this week that they are apparently rebooting 90210 with the original cast. I want that whole production crew, the actors and everything to off to the moon as well.
Well, they're going to look as old as the moon, aren't they?
Some of them are over 50, for God's sake.
Luke Perry was like 90 when he did it the first time.
I know. Send it to the moon. Now, just to explain why we were talking about that, explain why is that we were talking about the 30 million pages of Wikipedia and whatnot, which was going to be is still going to be left on the moon in whatever format they're going to be. We discussed that last week. However, though, I don't know how it came up, but 90210, the TV show Beverly Hills 90210, was mentioned. We mentioned a gentleman who acted on that program, and after we recorded that podcast, the very next day, out came the news he'd suffered a stroke. We're talking about Luke Perry.
Yeah, we kind of Nostradamus that shit.
Well, we kind
unfortunately.
Look, great actor. He was currently acting in the TV series Riverdale, which is on Netflix, which is husely popular.
And it's been put on sort of a hiatus now as well.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Has to be put on. Because he played Archie's dad.
Right, okay.
He played Archie's dad in that. So, listen, we sort of feel responsible due to the fact that as we may have somehow in that whole... A butterfly flaps his wings, and then...
A podcast talks shit, and then, the man with the greatest forehead in the world...
Oh, forehead.
Basically ups and dies.
Well, he had a stroke. He's then since passed on.
Yeah. We
are very apologetic to 45 to 50-year-old women who may have been teenagers in their 20s back then when 90210... debuted on television, which was the early 90s. So we're very, very apologetic. We feel for you. We know you were the ones who bought, TV hits, smash hits, all those...
Dolly.
All those magazines that had centerfolds of Luke Perry, who's now passed on, which was... It's devastating, guys. It really is.
It's a stroke of bad luck.
We need to bury the hatchet. We were talking about, sending them to the moon. Well, one of them has now gone to the heavens the same way. And you are right. That is a stroke of bad luck. However, though, we've decided that we would like to put the message out straight away on the Burble that if there is a TV show that you don't want to come back, let us know. Get on the Burble AU at Facebook and let us know. We will talk about that TV show and...
give it the kiss of death.
Give it the kiss of death. Odds on that it may actually happen. However, though, in such a small way that we have saved the world from another TV show coming back after it's run its course. And no doubt it probably will. There will be some terrible writing involved in it, explaining why that person is no longer there.
Passion pit fell on him or something.
It was the peach pit.
No, whatever it was.
It was the peach pit.
I can't remember anymore. That's back in the mists of the 90s.
Too much smooth, barely hairy peach talk, and that's it.
Yep.
Rip Luke Perry. We didn't mean it. We never mean it. It's all in good fun. It's all nonsense. However, though, you had a great career.
And a forehead that you could park a bike in.
We had something to do with it, as I feel guilty as shit.
Yeah, I feel really bad. And we didn't know. We just sit here and talk shit, and then suddenly a Hollywood star's gone. Bloody hell.
It is tough.
It is.
Okay. Now, when you edit that together, Mr. Producer, thank you. When you edit that together, you make sure that it sounds as poignant as it possibly can. Okay? Like, we do feel bad. Like,
Wow.
I was only forced to watch that show because of my sister. She was so into it wasn't funny. Had all the posters and shit of that ass fuck.
Yeah, I only watched it so I could talk to girls on Monday after the show.
Are we going to start? Are we starting with the
Start now?
intro? Right. Let me just get another beer.
Not enough nonsense in your life? Need a little more? Well, get ready, because these two have it in spades. Loose talk.
What are you talking about? Nonsense.
Even looser opinions.
Please explain.
And you're along for the ride.
Everybody strap in!
This is The Burble with Benny and Az.
Hello, it is Benny and Az. Hello, it is The Burble coming into your ears. We are on nearly every platform you can do. But before we get to that, though, we'll introduce Az. Hello, Az.
Hello, Benny. Hello, world.
That was a very poignant thing that we had to do at the top of the show because we actually mentioned, and we couldn't have known. We couldn't have known.
No,
There's
we
no
don't have
way
a time
in the world.
machine.
No.
No.
I'd love to have a time machine.
That'd be
though.
cool.
It would be good.
Yeah.
But we didn't know. No. So, Vale in memoriam, Luke Perry.
Yep.
And look, no doubt that he'll be mentioned in the Oscars next year in the in memoriam. He was in that movie 8 Seconds. Remember the bull riding movie?
Yeah, it was one of his finest works.
I did actually.
And he was also in Buffy the Vampire Slayer as well.
Oh, the first movie.
He was.
That's
alongside, who was it?
That chick we never heard from again.
Yeah, that I had one hit and big boobies, and then Luke Perry came along and...
It wasn't really a hit, though, was it?
Well, they made 8 seasons of a TV show after
the
movie.
Well, that's after the TV show, the movie, sorry.
Obviously it wasn't too bad. I thought it was a pretty good movie. It had some great music. It had
Of course you did. Hey, everyone. Hey, Az was the biggest man whore for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Mate, I remember when we dug through a friend's shed and you found like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer lunchbox.
Hell yeah, I still have that.
And you've still got
It's part of my Buffy collection.
He's got a Buffy collection, which most of it is video.
No, I upgraded to DVD.
Jesus.
Not long ago.
Now that you've said that, who played Buffy in the TV series?
That was, oh God, I should know this. Straight off the top of my head, it was that chick. She was in Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
Ah,
the
what
blonde
was her
chick.
name?
Not Melissa Joan Hart. She was Sabrina.
No, she was Sabrina. And by the way, the new Sabrina on Netflix is awesome if you haven't seen it. Get into that.
It's dark.
What was the name? I don't know. I know Alison Hannigan was Willow.
Yes. Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Can't even get it out.
Got it now.
Look, we've gone on about Luke a lot. He was iconic in the 90s. We grew up with him. He was a very good actor. He was
on The
nice guy.
Simpsons.
He was on The Simpsons, and he did that
Sideshow Luke Perry.
And he actually played himself as well in another episode. He was on a couple of times. He was a good sport. But look, I think we've gone on long enough. Looking at the counter on the recorder there, this has been over 90210 seconds now, Benny. So let's move on.
All right. Welcome to The Burble. So we are available, obviously, on Apple iTunes. You can subscribe to us. Leave a comment, too. We'd love to know what you think of the program. Now, we are also available on Spotify and recently the addition of iHeartRadio, so being available on those guys, okay? You still have no work whatsoever on the Google, have you?
No, I haven't.
You're being lazy here.
Yeah, there was beer to drink. Yeah.
Coming up, we're going to talk about this stupid thing which is now going around the internet, which is called cheesing, which... It's cheesing your baby. Also, as well as there is a brand new way to get fit and enjoy it. It's called Rage Yoga, which uses beer and cursing to release stress.
Kind of like our weekly podcast record.
As you brought this story to the table.
I did. There's a billionaire overseas. He's a diamond trader, and he has an extravagant lifestyle, as I'm sure you can imagine. but he did die during some surgery. We will get into that.
We are going to get into that.
It is a large story, and we will get into that.
Two things that you would never think in your life to bring together, two beverages. We're going to talk about this because now someone's trying to get internet fame in regards to mixing these two things together. I've got news for him. We've been doing that for years. That's coming up. Madonna's proud of controversy that she turned out 30 years ago. That is all on the way. The Greens. Now, we are in an election in our home state of New South Wales.
And soon to be our home country of Australia. The government's only hanging on by a thread. They can't last much longer.
That's true. That's true. Well, they plan to legalise something, regulate it as well, and licence it. That's all coming up. Plus, as well, we've got our speed round, which we did last week and seemed to work quite well, even though it went for about 13 minutes. It's all coming up on the Burble.
This is the Burble with Benny and Az.
As last week we talked about this whole Momo thing.
Yeah, we did.
Since then... it's been revealed that the guy who made the Momo sculpture and all that kind of thing has just said he's destroying it because there were photos of it, then someone stole it, and they had that whole thing in regards to trying to scare kids, get them to hurt themselves, cut their throats.
You leave the gas on, like all sorts of crazy, weird shit.
And then all these videos started coming out on Facebook of parents trying to comfort their children, telling them that this Momo stuff doesn't happen. This is where the tables get turned on parents.
Right.
Parents are using their smartphones to film something which is just utterly stupid. It's called cheesing. Now, there's a lot of baby photo video stuff that's out there, and who really hasn't laughed at a video of a baby tasting a lemon or wasabi?
Yeah.
Or something like that. Everyone's laughed at that, right? You're all guilty, you know it. You're all guilty of that shit. You know that you've been watching that stuff.
Late night throne surfer Facebook while you're on the toot.
That's right.
And then you see that video, that one video, and you look at it, and it might be some dude making a space shuttle out of an aluminium can, those ones, and then all of a sudden, bam, cute baby videos.
Yep.
And kittens. And then you get the babies.
Yep, or cats attacking babies.
Yeah.
This is a thing,
Right.
There's a thing that's now called cheesing. Cheesing. So what actually happens in these videos? The parent is standing over the baby, and the baby's looking at them holding a sippy cup or some shit like that. They're sitting in the high chair. They're trapped. They're trapped. They can't do anything. What do the parents do? They get a plastic piece of cheese, unwrap
a square
of cheese, and they just flick it straight onto the baby's head. Now, some babies have actually caught it. There's one there, for example,
he's nomming down.
He's like,
free cheese.
Hell yeah. No, he's nomming down on some Fruit Loops.
Yeah, but he drops that shit, and he's straight into the cheese. As soon as that thing hits him in the forehead like a porn he's like, yeah, I'm getting some cheese, mother.
People on Twitter are loving this trend, although others have a problem with throwing cheese on babies at the expense of some laughs online. Someone on Twitter asked, why would someone do that? And now, here we go. I'm going to read real Twitter responses to cheesing. Christian says, cheesing people is so disrespectful, but it's the best thing I've ever seen. I don't know if that is his impersonation there.
It's not bad, though. I totally bought it.
Why are people cheesing babies? Why? Crying, laughing emoji.
Nah.
I don't remember a lot of stuff when I was a baby. I do not remember anything like that. I sort of remember images and feelings, but I don't remember my parents throwing sliced cheese at me at all or similar. I do remember the belt coming towards me once.
Yep.
And a while. Not when I was a baby, when I was like when I graduated from being a baby to being a little shit. And I'm sure that you got the same.
And the wooden spoon.
But it's like these stupid challenges that are online at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Like the cinnamon challenge. Have you seen that one?
Yes, it was funny for about a minute, and then it was like,
I'm done with it.
You're a dunce.
And then remember the one, the pods.
The Tide Pod.
The Tide Pod.
But that was actually not bad, though. That was natural selection at work, because those can kill you. If you're dumb enough to put a bloody concentrated laundry detergent pod in your mouth, then you deserve to be removed from the gene pool.
I can't argue with that.
No, you can't. It's
I don't want to be on the
solid
side